How's it going, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Byron, otherwise known as Beat on Disc Golf. If you're new here, go ahead and click that like and subscribe button for me. I'd appreciate it a lot. But today I have another tournament video for you guys. Going to be doing some commentary over it, and I think it's kind of a banger of a video. I can't lie. It really did come down to the last wire. Me, Timo, Zach, Rye, and Lane ended up battling it out. You have to watch the end of the video to see who snuck out the win. To provide a little bit of context, I kind of have to because I didn't start recording that final round until about 6 holes in because I left my GoPro at home and I didn't think I was going to be recording. But shout out my mom. She met me on hole 7 and got my GoPro for me. So the first clip you'll see is us starting on hole 7. But first round, Zach and Rye ended up shooting 4 down, Lane 3 down, me and Timo tied at 2 down, so we were only 2 strokes back of the lead. Timo started out the second round really hot. He got 4 in a row just off rip, and our leaders did not start out too hot. Rye started out bogey, and then Zach had a double and then a bogey, and then honestly, Zach, I'm sorry, but you just you couldn't get anything going. He kind of fell out of the picture very quickly. Rye was having a bit of a weary round. He was kind of back and forth between bogeys and birdies. But so Timo started out 4 down. I started out birdie, bogey, par, and then I got 4 in a row there. To Timo's 4 in a row from the beginning, but then he doubled hole 8, so then he's 2 down. So through the first 6 holes, I have a 1-stroke lead over Timo and the field. And yeah, we just kind of go back and forth between that, and we'll get into the course's hole 10, but my hole 7 of the round. So my hole 7 of the round got a pretty strong headwind. Shout out my mom again. She recorded this tee shot. Had to peek around because I thought I had a nice solid ace run there, but it was just a little short. I pinned it and it rolled to about 15-20 feet maybe, and I made the birdie putt. With that birdie putt, I take a 1-stroke lead heading into the next hole. Get pretty lucky there with a bush. Had a really strong right to left wind. It was really weird. Timo unfortunately throwing OB there. More than likely going to be losing a stroke there. Lane just letting that wind carry his disc off to the left. And Rye with an unfortunate roll to the left side. Still in bounds though. Unlike Zach here, he's also going into that cage over there. And yeah, Timo and Zach are going to be taking a bogey there. I'm going to take the only par. Yeah, Lane had a quite the putting performance.
Lane!
He was definitely struggling on the putting green, but he throws really far. Moving on to the next hole. I really do enjoy this hole, and it fits really solid for my forehand.
Mom, delete that one. Delete that one.
Shout out my mom. She ended up staying for a couple holes to watch. But yeah, this hole just really shapes up very nicely for the forehand. And I was pretty upset that I couldn't get it either of the rounds, but. And I am so jealous of Rye's forehand because it flexes very nicely for this hole, and it's just super low, nice Anheuser angle, and it skips up right to the basket. Here's me trying to get up and down for the par save, and just a weird little fluff shot. Trying to just laugh the pain away of a pretty bad upshot. But you know, it's always a berg, just nice little forehand, and take the easy bogey there, move on. Lose a stroke to the field, but it is what it is.
That's gonna be fine. Go on. It's gonna drop.
Timo getting a nice,
that's
lucky
literally
little weird tree bounce in there, but he ends up being parked for birdie on that hole. I believe Lane's still somewhat in it. I think he's only a few strokes back behind me and Timo, because I think, yes, I believe me and Timo at this point are tied, I think, or I have a 1-stroke lead. So I just know I got to put this one close because I know he's he's pretty parked. I get up on the hill. Rise got this for par, I believe. Just 2 uphill. Never gave it enough height. Thanks, Timo. And Lane. That's my sponsor. We clutch up, make the nice 25-footer uphill. Just having fun with the boys at this point. I somehow end up hitting a lucky gap on the right side. We end up going clean, and then Lane just, you know, if you can throw 8,000 feet, you might as well just go over the top and try to pin the hole. I don't think he ended up in a great spot, but shout out to Zach. This was probably his best drive of the round. I think this was his only birdie of the round, unfortunately, but he was one of the few players to birdie this hole. And this is my upshot to try to get up and down for the par. Never really had a look once I got to that right side. And little skip forward to the next hole. This was my tee shot on the par 4. Great distance off the tee. Timo ends up throwing OB off his tee shot, if I remember correctly. So I have a chance to get up and down here for the birdie. And this tree is just barely in my way that I kind of have to flex this upshot and just let the disc do the work. And I think I put just a little too much zip on it, and it just barely skips out the backside OB. A little frustrated there, but Ryan ends up taking a birdie here, I believe, or a par, and I just have a tap in par as well. Not losing a stroke, but would definitely like to have gotten that one on him. And if I'm not mistaken, me and Timo are still in the lead, tied right now with each other. This hole is just a nice, fairly wide open, about 420 foot shot, just over those basketball courts over there. Timo definitely has the power to get there. It's just a little early. The basket's a little bit to the right, but he got pin high, just way left. And I just really bad form there. But it's out in the open, fairly easy up and down shot, and just didn't really release it quite right. But Lane did release it basically perfectly. I believe that was like an S-Line CD1 that he got, and he just absolutely parked it. Well, not parked, but circle one. I'm very lucky Timo had that branch in his way. I don't wish my competitors, any bad luck, but I was very lucky he wasn't able to run that, because this was my putt for par right here. Solid like 20 footer into a headwind, and we make the putt to keep it even. And Lane with the only 2 goes first, and then does what Lane does, and can't have two good holes in a row. This pretty much sums up Zach's round. And I think he has a pretty decent drive here. Just a little right, a little short, but still has a chance for a birdie there. Timo just butting that one right into the ground. You can see how he feels about that drive. So I do have a chance here to try to get a stroke on him, and I really like this release on it, and it just kind of fell out of the sky almost.
To be fair, I was aiming right at that tree.
I can confirm that was the exact tree I was aiming for. Lane with a solid upshot, giving himself a par look. And Timo, go, get in. Was kind of hoping that did go in to give me a little boost to actually give this a solid bid. And I really did. I think if I took it any higher, I might have ended up hitting the tree that was right in front of me. So I'm not too upset with that birdie attempt. And again, me and Timo still tied up, kind of stagnant on these last couple holes. Lane getting a really solid kick there. I believe the road, no, I believe anything to the left is OB, so he got a really nice kick there. This is the play that you do if you have the power and the stability to do. He leaves it just a little bit short, but he gets a really nice skip to the left. And this is the really safe play, just taking a really overstable disc and chopping it to the right at the hill and letting it fade left. Which I believe is what Timo tries to do there, but he ends up hitting a tree right in the middle, and luckily he kicks right and stays safe. I love attacking holes, so I go right up the middle with a stable fairway, and I end up, I think, around circle's edge. Can't really tell because, you know, Zach's big ass head is in the way, but it doesn't matter because I end up missing the putt right anyways with another straddle putt, which that was a big a big thing throughout this whole tournament. Was I had so many straddle putts here, it was actually insane. But we step up to the course's hole 1. Thanks, Zach. And it's just a easy forehand with the overstable mid or an approach disc, and you know, a fairly easy birdie that we should be getting since we're fighting for a top spot here. Timo tees off before me, and I see him absolutely pin this one. He was very, very money with that overstable mid. It's a Prodigy overstable mid. I don't know exactly which one it is, but I got to follow that up, and I leave myself just a little bit short.
Nice.
Great putt from Rye there to kind of keep pace and not get himself out of the tournament just yet. And this is the putt that I have, another straddle in between some trees. Feeling a little nervous here because at this point I'm like, okay, I have a really good chance at winning this event right now, and it'd be really sick to win at my home course. I mean, not technically my home course, but in my hometown. Move on to the next hole. Timo just absolutely laces this one and almost gives it an ace run. So I got to follow that up again. So I'm throwing my MD5, just trying to throw it a little bit lower because he did go about 25 past the basket. So I end up skipping short. And
Byron says, let me get it closer.
Whole lot of clutch.
I believe that tree kick there kind of took Lane out of the tournament. I think maybe he still had a chance.
Zach, if you make this, I'll buy you whatever disc you want. It's on camera.
Pre-flight.
Pre-flight.
Pre-flight. Destroyer.
Max 200. Yeah, my wallet's safe.
Oh my gosh, dude.
What is he gonna do with the tree?
That was brutal.
That is. If I make this one.
Double it or nothing.
I'll buy you whatever disc you want up to $100. All right, round 2. $100 limit. Light work. Oh, go. Do it, please. No. I mean, it's pinned.
Just pinned it, that's all.
Hey, next time just start running everything, bro. You better.
Give a little fire to Zach there at the end to to try to close out his round. And a really unfortunate putt from Timo there. That was to keep pace, and because that purple disc right there in the front is mine with a very easy birdie chance there to take one heading into the last hole. And Rice still kicking. He takes the birdie, and I believe he's tied with Timo now after that missed putt. And I have this very short putt. I had a fly bothering me, which kind of pissed me off. But we locked in and got the putt in there, and we take a 1-stroke lead heading into the final round. Giving the good old fist bump because I know I have this tournament in the bag if I can just execute this last hole. And unfortunate for Rye, with that first available hit, he kind of takes himself out as long as I don't do anything stupid. We take my forehand, we take the MD5, hit a tree in the middle, but it's still fine. It's still a very, very easy par. Timo needs to birdie this to push for a playoff. And he almost has another H run and skips maybe 20 feet to the right of the basket. And apparently this hole is just not an MD5 hole because me and Lane threw the same disc and hit the same tree. But yeah, so if Timo makes this putt, he pushes a playoff as long as I part it, as long as I get
Video
up and
evidence.
down.
I'm not condoning a run.
It's a bird. It's always a bird.
I could feel a little bit of a headwind, so I didn't really want to push this putter OB past the basket. But I just never really gave the berg a chance to go in.
I did run it.
I gave it kind of a half run.
That's why I switched to the bird.
And I believe that for Rye, this is a bogey.
Yep.
Because he didn't have too great of an upshot. And unfortunate for Lane there. Timo with like a 15-footer. Yeah. So as long as I make this short little putt, this tournament is mine. I really didn't think I would ever, I didn't think I'd be this close to winning an MA1 tournament until like the middle of the year. So as long as I don't do anything stupid. It hurts watching this back. I didn't even think it was that bad of a putt.
What? Byron's channel, are you seeing this? No. This is wild.
I was in a 3-way playoff now? We're both trying to lose. No.
Yeah, I don't really know what happened there. Sorry for the lighting. But yeah, apparently I was just really, really nervous. And yeah, as I was saying before I missed the putt, I didn't think I was going to be this close to winning an MA1 tournament until at least mid-season, if at all, this year. I knew I had the skills to put myself in contention a few times, but yeah, having the lead and heading to the last hole and then missing a really, really easy putt. It's as much as I want to blame the basket, like, it wasn't a bad putt. It could have been better. So, you know, you just got to take those and and move on. Really, it was watching that back hurts. But we have a 2-way playoff. I thought it was a 3-way playoff with Rye, but Rye ended up bogeying. So it's a replay of that same hole that we just did. Hole 3, 4, 17, and 18 on a loop. If you don't know what playoffs are in disc golf, it's basically sudden death match play. So whoever gets the best score, if you beat the other person, then you automatically win. If you guys tie the hole, you move on to the next one and keep repeating until you get a winner, basically. So I believe Timo won the head toss, the coin toss, and so he gets to tee off first on the exact hole that we just played, where we both missed really easy putts. Timo just trying to replicate the exact same shot he just had, maybe putting a little bit more hyzer to put the brakes on it, and he executes it to perfection. He's literally like not even 10 feet shorter than my putt was the last time we played this hole. I'm trying to do the same thing, just a little bit more hyzer, end up a little bit short to miss that tree, and yeah, give myself basically the exact same putt that I just had to win the tournament. And we somehow sneaked that one in. It was bottom left side, very easily could have not gone in, but I think I was still feeling the nerves a little bit and still feeling a little bit nervous. I tee off first on the next hole because we alternate. All you want to do is exactly what I just did. Skip on the bottom of the hill, or skip right at the top of the hill and just barely skip forward next to the basket. And I feel really bad for Timo because he had to wait for 2 cars to go as soon as he stepped onto the tee pad, which might have razzed him a little bit. I'm not entirely too sure, but yeah, you see these cars passing through because everyone else's rounds were pretty much over, but he ends up teeing off right after that car moves. Little unfortunate he didn't hit that tree there and kick left because he ends up about maybe 30 long uphill, and it just splashes out top left. So now all I have is another very, very short putt, straddle putt. Mind you, it's like my 10th straddle putt of the round, but we do it.
Let's go, Byron. Go.
We end up beating Timo in a 2-hole playoff. Very, very happy about it. Thanks, Wingspan.
Thank you, my friend.
Also, shout out Paletero Disc Golf.
Subscribe.
He's alive. Why would you do that to yourself?
Did he make that?
Yes.
He was on the
He walked straight back and throws it.
Yeah, I told you it was very interesting. It literally came down to the wire. My first playoff and my first playoff win. I can't speak right now. My first playoff win and my first MA1 win. It felt really great, especially to get it in my hometown. Feels really good. That was the first time all year that my game has felt really, really solid. Shout out to Caleb from Wingspan. Shout out to all my sponsors, Wingspan and Paletero Disc Golf. Thank you guys for all the support. But shout out to Caleb because he really helped me kind of dial in my backhand right before this tournament. And you know, it was the most confident I'd felt off the tee in a long while. And the putt was working besides those last couple holes, but I guess besides the last hole. But yeah, it feels good to kind of get that chip off my shoulder of getting a win this year. You know, I know I have the skills to do it, but I also know how stiff the competition is in MA1, and I didn't think I'd be getting a win in a field this competitive. I thought I'd maybe sneak a win out when there wasn't as many people, but it feels good to be competitive. And these past couple tournaments after this one, I've also been feeling really, really hot heading to Star City. But hopefully I'll be posting a video about that after the whole tournament's done, and who knows, maybe I get my first A-tier win. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. If you guys enjoyed the video, go ahead and like, comment, subscribe. I greatly appreciate all the support. Again, shout out to both of my sponsors, Wingspan and Paletero Disc Golf. You guys mean a lot to me. Thanks for believing in me, and see you guys in the next video.